Hey y'all, welcome to this channel. This is the Impact New York Season 1, Episode 1, a New York State of Mind recap/review. Let's get into the episode. The episode opens up with Dream Doll with her family having family dinner. We find out that Dream Doll does not play about her family. The first thing that she did when she started getting her money was take her family out the hood. She said that was one of her biggest goals. She's on a journey to get closer with God. She's trying to find what makes her happy, what her purpose is. She's like, I know God has a plan. She just doesn't know what that plan is. And that's kind of something that's weighing down on her. She recently lost her grandpa. And she's ready for the next chapter in her life, really. She really wants to start a family, talking about she wants 5 kids. Whew, honey, that's a lot. But really, we just see Dream Doll in a different light. And I actually really like to see this side of her because when I think Dream Doll, I think like reality TV and fighting and stuff. But to see this other side of her just being calm and ready for like a fresh start in life is just really refreshing. The next person we see is Chinese Kitty. She's on her way to perform and she's a mother. We find out she's a mother, an upcoming rapper. She feels like people get the wrong impression of her because of the negative stuff that they see on blogs or the way she looks. But when you really get to meet her, she's a cool and funny girl. She says, don't judge a book by its cover. Her son is her motivation. And after her show, her and her team are in the back room and they talk about the record her and Dream have. She says that the record didn't get put out because of miscommunication, egos, and politics. But her producers, managers are in her ear to get the record out. Not gonna lie, I feel like that was such a random conversation to be having after your show, but maybe that's the storyline they're trying to start within the season. In the next scene, we see Maleni. She's at home chilling with her boyfriend Chicklet. She talks about how they both got started doing skits online together. She's trying to branch off. She really wants to get into acting. We find out she's a fiance, and they've been together for 8 years. She asked him to practice a script with her. And he's like, why are you always trying to include me? I'm not trying to be an actress. She's like, well, that's what partners are supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to help me out. And he's like, no, go do that by yourself. Excuse me? He then says, if you want to separate yourself, then separate yourself. Why are you including me in the separation? They get into a mini argument about why he can't do it and all this. And it's obviously clear that he feels some type of way about her wanting to separate herself from him brand wise. He says he's not helping her with her acting career and he walks out the room. Not gonna lie, that's kind of crazy. Like, you don't want to help your girl elevate. Like, she want to do something bigger. And I could understand he kind of might take offense, like, oh, well, you don't want to do that with me. But she just wants to be her own, like, person. Like, you know, she wants to be her own brand. Like, not only does she want to be Maleni and Chicklet, she wants to also just be Maleni. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. In the next scene, we see Bernice Burgos. In her confessional, she talks about how she's one of the first Instagram influencers. And she's 43 and she's in her prime. She has a clothing/PJ line called Bold and Beautiful, and how she really loves that she can be a business owner and have something of her own. She talks about how she has a daughter that she had at 15. She said, I was a baby having a baby. She talks to her friend about how she feels with her daughter being on social media and wanting to be in like the limelight a little, and how her daughter doesn't know how to turn off the hate when it comes to like hate comments and stuff like that, and how she actually likes that her daughter is becoming a rapper. Next, we see Ashley Marie. Ashley is at the gym with her friend. She talks a little about how she started the brand Bold and Beautiful with her mom, but she hasn't been active much with it lately because she's been busy, but her mom has been wanting her to help. She's a mother, an upcoming rapper, and an entrepreneur. She started taking rap serious in 2022. She says she wants to prove to people that she is not just Bernice Burgos' daughter. She does not want people thinking that. She says she's going to show people, no, I'm not just Bernice Burgos' daughter. I got my own stuff too. And she's not just rapping and being an influencer because she can. She's doing it because she is good at it, you know? In the next scene, we see Ella. Ella tells us that she started going viral on Facebook at 12 by just taking pictures and being fly. She says that she's a mother of 2 kids with the rapper A Boogie with the hoodie. Her beginning scene was actually kind of sad. Like, it was very emotional. She was crying, talking about her childhood. She didn't really have like a stable childhood. She was moving from shelters and foster homes, and she finally lived with her mom when she turned into Ella Beans. And she also mentioned that she had been paying her mom's rent since she was 12 years old, which is crazy as hell. You're a child yourself and you're paying rent for a grown woman. Ugh, that just sucks. She talks about how she really wants to follow her dreams and be as big as she can just to help her family. She doesn't want people to just call her A Boogie's baby mom. And I'm like, hold up, Ella, because when was you just A Boogie's baby mom? Whoever is calling you that needs to go and do their research. Next, we see a brief link up between Cleo Trapper and Maleni. Cleo is a rapper and influencer. She's known for her funny skits. They talk about making content together, and Maleni expresses to Cleo Trapper that she wants to separate herself from her boyfriend and, make content for herself. And Cleo Trapper encourages her to just post. Now, the last scene of episode 1 is where the drama starts. Ella's girls' night party. Everybody starts showing up for the party. They're sitting around eating. Maleni comes in. Honey, Maleni, she be hype. She comes with the vibes, definitely. Kitty arrives. Ella says that when Chinese Kitty came in, she could feel that Chinese Kitty had her guard up and kind of felt like she was by herself. Ella does introduce her to everyone. Kitty says in her confessional she was caught off guard. She didn't expect it to be an intimate setting. She thought it was going to be like more people. The girls moved to the living room area and they're just talking and chatting. And in Kitty's confessional, I guess she's asked about Cleo Trapper, and she's like, well, I would say she's an it girl because she hangs out with Ice Spice. Now, I thought that was shady, and Cleo Trapper did clock that on Twitter, and I do have a video on that. I would link it in the description if you want to watch it. Also, Chinese Kitty is really random. She says to Cleo, oh yeah, you was beefing with my stylist. And Cleo is caught off guard and she immediately checks her. She's like, that don't got nothing to do with you. That don't got nothing to do with me knowing you. And Kitty's like, oh, okay, okay. The girls play a little bit of Carisha Please, and then Dream and her sister arrive. Dream walks in. She's like, hey, everyone. And then in Kitty's confessional, she's like, oh, she came in the room and addressed everybody, but she didn't speak to me. And her energy was off. When you say, hey, everyone, you're speaking to everyone. So what do you mean she didn't speak to me? She spoke to everyone, and you're everyone. I'm like, Chinese Kitty, what's going on? I'm trying to like you, but what's going on? So then they get settled. Chinese Kitty, it goes, I have a question for all the artists. How do y'all feel about being in the industry? And Dream's like, she kind of feels disconnected with music. And Chinese Kitty's like, well, what about our record? Like, it's been a year. Like, you've been sleeping on the record. What about the video? Dream's like, well, that's your record. So, like, it's your emotion is all on you, Then Chinese goes, well, you're supposed to be in the video. You're supposed to do your verse. And Dream's like, well, we spoke about this before. Our managers have each other's contact. We can do it whenever. In her confessional, Dream says that Kitty had put out a project and the song wasn't on the project. So she just assumed that Chinese Kitty scrapped the song. They step away into a room just to have a quick convo. Dream's like, why are you bringing this up? Like, I'm on my positive stuff. Like, why are you even bringing this up? This is embarrassing. Chinese is like, wait, hold up. What is all of this energy? Dream's like, I'm just so confused. Why would you bring this up? We already talked about it 4 months ago. And Chinese is like, well, I'm not doing a video with somebody that got all this energy. Dream's like, well, what energy? We spoke about it already. It's your song. It's on you. Then Dream's like, I have songs with Jennifer Lopez that she hasn't put out, but that's on her to put them out. It's your song. Chinese Kitty then says, well, if you feel some type of way, I'm confused. Dream says, I don't feel no type of way. I did the feature. After that, Chinese Kitty starts acting like she's confused about the conversation. Dream just gets up and is like, girl, bye. Dream goes out in the living room and Chinese Kitty stays in the room. Ella and Ashley go in the room with Chinese Kitty, and Chinese explains to them how Dream was going to charge Chinese Kitty $15,000 for the video fee. And when Chinese Kitty found out that she was trying to charge her, she was like, hold up, this was supposed to be a collab. $15,000, whoa, you're bugging. Then Dream is in the living room and she's telling them the story about how Chinese felt some way about the 15K. So Dream's like, well, never mind. You don't even have to pay the 15K. Just pay for my glam and then I'll do the video. And Chinese Kitty still got a problem with that. Chinese Kitty was confusing me because if Dream told you 4 months ago in the club, our managers got each other contact, just pay for my glam and we could do the video. What's the confusion? Like, why is Chinese Kitty confused and trying to make it a big issue when it's not? And then she keep trying to say, oh, well, her energy is just off. Like, the vibe is off. Girl, the vibe is not off. What? Dream and Chinese Kitty continue to argue about the same thing. Once Dream comes into the living room, Chinese Kitty decides to leave. As she's leaving, she can hear the girls in the living room still talking about the situation. So she comes back and she says something smart. And security, or whoever these men are holding her back. And they're dragging her to the elevator, and once she gets into the elevator, Dream's sister pops up like, where the stairs at, trying to get at Chinese Kitty. And that's how the episode ends. It seems like Chinese Kitty was just making it more difficult than it had to be. She really could have been like, all right, well, manager, since y'all pressing me so hard to get this record out, you need to go contact Dream's manager so we can get a date to film the video, because that's really what she's trying to do, because the record's already done. You just want to do a video and you just need to pay Dream's glam. Like, it's so simple. Pay Dream's glam, tell your manager to contact her manager, set up a date, time, location, and shoot the video, then drop the song and the video. So simple. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. Chinese Kitty confused me a little, but I did love hearing from the other girls. Honestly, everyone, even Chinese Kitty, even though I was confused, I did enjoy this episode a lot. I really think I'ma like the Impact New York better than Atlanta. I'm so sorry to say it. But also, why was Scott Louis nowhere in this episode? If this was supposed to be like an intro to everyone, all the cast members, why wasn't Scott Louis on this episode? That kind of sucks. But other than that, I enjoyed this episode. I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the season. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on episode 1 of The Impact New York. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and have a good day.